Picture this. You wake up, you've got this crystal clear plan for the day, and you tell yourself, okay, today's the day, right? Today's the day we're finally going to tackle that massive project, or hit the gym, or learn that skill we've been putting off literally for months. You are completely ready. But first, you decide to just check your phone for 5 minutes. Just a quick check, right? Well, we all know exactly how this story ends. 5 minutes seamlessly turns into 30, 30 becomes an hour of just endless, mindless scrolling, and before you even know it, the entire day is just gone. And that super important task, it's sitting exactly where you left it, waiting. If that sounds painfully familiar, believe me, you are in the right place.
So why do we actually do this? Why do we procrastinate? Well, what if I told you that this endless cycle of delay isn't a character flaw? It's really not laziness, and it definitely isn't because you just lack discipline. I really want to validate what you've been experiencing here because the science tells a very, very different story from what we're usually taught. In fact, when you avoid that big project, your brain is actually doing exactly what it was perfectly designed to do. Literally every single day, your biology is making a calculated choice to prioritize comfort over progress.
Okay, so let's dive right into this explainer and look at our roadmap. First, we'll bust the procrastination myth. Then we'll look at your Stone Age brain, followed by the dopamine trap. After that, we'll explore why smart people procrastinate, and finally, we'll talk about the simple shift you can make to fix it. All right, section 1, the procrastination myth. Let's just go ahead and shatter this massive time management lie that we've all been completely sold on. Most people, and honestly, way too many self-help books out there, treat procrastination like it's just a time management problem. They think, oh, if I just get a better planner or download some fancy new app, it'll fix everything. But think about it. If that were true, literally everyone with a digital calendar would be endlessly productive. The actual reality here? Procrastination is an emotional management problem. Just think back to the absolute last task you severely procrastinated on. Maybe it was cramming for a huge exam, or writing up this dense, boring report, or even finally putting your resume out there for a new job. Notice something they all have in common? These tasks are almost always loaded with incredibly uncomfortable emotions. We're talking about pure stress, crippling uncertainty, fear of failure, or maybe just the fear of judgment. Your brain essentially acts as a radar, and the absolute second it detects these nasty feelings attached to a task, it sounds the alarm. It instantly starts looking for an escape route. So you aren't running away because the task is logically too hard. You're running away simply because the task makes you feel bad. Moving right along to section 2, your Stone Age brain. To really understand this, we need to look at why we're constantly stuck in survival mode. Looking back at our ancestors really hits the nail on the head regarding the evolutionary mismatch we're all dealing with today. The human brain evolved under harsh conditions, where prioritizing immediate rewards and immediate threats was literally the only way to survive. If there was food right in front of you, you ate it right then. If there was a predator nearby, you ran away immediately. The future? Totally unguaranteed. But today, the world has evolved infinitely faster than our actual biology. Modern success relies completely on long-term thinking. Studying today for a grade you won't see for months, or saving a chunk of your paycheck for a retirement that is literally decades away. Our modern goals demand massive patience, but our ancient brains are still frantically scanning the horizon for a reward right now. And that's where this huge fundamental conflict begins. Okay, let's jump into section 3, the dopamine trap. This is all about how modern technology completely hijacks those ancient instincts we just talked about.
So let's talk about the chemical everybody's always mentioning, dopamine. A lot of people mistakenly call it just the reward chemical, but its actual primary job in your brain is motivation. Your brain shoots out a hit of dopamine when it expects something rewarding is about to happen, pushing you to take action. And guess what? Modern tech companies know all about this. Their platforms are masterfully designed to exploit this exact ancient system. Every single ping from a notification, every endless feed of short videos, every little like on your post, they all serve up an instant, completely effortless hit of dopamine.
Just look at the choice you're forcing your brain to make here. Choice 1, buckle down and study or work intensely for 3 straight hours, knowing the payoff might not happen for weeks or even months. Or choice 2, grab your phone, open an app, and watch fun short videos where the reward hits you instantly and requires absolutely zero effort. When you put those two options side by side, your ancient brain doesn't even hesitate. No way, it goes straight for the instant hit. It chooses whatever feels good right now. And over time, this constantly, relentlessly trains your brain to just seek comfort and actively avoid anything that requires real effort.
Let's transition to section 4, why smart people procrastinate.
Because you might think intelligence is the easy way out of this trap. You'd really assume that highly intelligent, capable people would have just figured out a neat little workaround for this biological trap, right? Well, the brutal truth is that intelligence doesn't protect you from emotion. Not at all. In fact, highly intelligent, high achievers often struggle even more thanks to crippling perfectionism. They don't just want to get the task done, they want to execute it absolutely flawlessly. And because of that intense pressure, they sit around waiting for the perfect moment, the absolute perfect mindset, or the perfect conditions to finally get started. But as we all know, perfect just never arrives. So the task sits there, entirely untouched. So again, procrastinating isn't about lacking the capability to do the work, it's about hitting a massive invisible wall of emotional resistance. Which brings us to Section 5, this simple shift. How do we finally bypass this biology and actually get things done? To fix this, we first have to look at the trap that almost everyone is stuck in. Let's call it the flawed loop. You probably assume that first, you need to feel motivated, right? And then, once you finally get that magical spark of motivation, you'll take action. And then finally, that action gives you the results you want. You're basically just sitting around waiting for motivation to strike you like a bolt of lightning before you even lift a single finger. But here is the simple shift. It's a real game changer. You have to realize that reality actually works in the exact opposite direction. You don't wait for motivation. You have to take action first, even a tiny, ridiculously small action, because that initial action is actually what creates the motivation. Seriously, the absolute hardest part of any task is just starting it. But the magic is, once you begin, your brain adapts, that massive emotional resistance drops, your focus sharpens up, and momentum just naturally takes over. Motivation comes after action, not before it. And that right there is exactly why top productivity experts universally agree on this one incredibly powerful rule. Do not commit to finishing the task. If you stare down a massive project and tell yourself, I have to finish all of this today, your brain is just going to flood with those uncomfortable emotions we talked about and immediately look for an escape. Instead, just commit to starting. Tell yourself you're going to write just one single paragraph, or read just one page, or literally just sit down and work for 5 minutes. That's it. Because simply starting, it changes the whole shebang. So the next time you find yourself stuck in that endless scrolling loop, actively avoiding what you know you need to do, I want you to remember this core message. Your brain is not out to get you. It really isn't trying to sabotage your life or ruin your career. It's literally just an ancient piece of hardware trying its absolute best to protect you from discomfort. The catch, of course, is that what feels really comfortable today usually creates massive regret tomorrow. But hey, now that you actually understand your biological blueprint, you can stop fighting yourself. You can stop beating yourself up. And instead, you can actually start working with your natural wiring. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a bit of a provocative challenge. Think about that one specific task you've been putting off for weeks. You know the exact one I'm talking about. Bring it to mind right now. I challenge you to go spend just 5 minutes on it today. Seriously, don't try to finish it, just start it. Bypass that ancient brain of yours, take that very first tiny action, and just watch the motivation follow. I promise you, your future self is absolutely going to thank you for it.